Ndị Igbo ekene m unu. Asị m ka nke echukwelu ya zelu. Anyị si ndụ mmiri ndụ azụ. Mmiri atara m azụ anwụra. Asa dịrị mma na eke, dịrị mma na orie, fọzara mma na afọ, fọzara mma na nkwọ, ụzọ ahịa anọ nke ndị Igbo ji biri. Asị na ya dịrị n'Igbo na mma o. Ise, ise, ise. Dịka o si dị ka agbapụ na ya ọsọ igosi na ya bụ ife anyị ji maka ya wee bịa. Na tupu anyị aga n'igosi na ya bụ ife, ọ bụla nke a bụ ụbọchị izu gị. Ị na-ejete afọ channel aya n'Igbo akwụkwọ ka baro ka like and subscribe o. Tinyekwa kọmentị, share ekwe ya, tụsa ya bụ ozi ka ụmụnne anyị dị n'ebe dị iche iche wee na ya bụ ife na-eme n'obodo a. Dịka o si dị, ihe wetara unu tata bụ nnukwu update dị oke mkpa. Mma nchọ ka onye ọbụla misie ya. Mma nchọ ka ị ga ya bụ ife, ị ga-esi ya bụ ife wetara unu gbasa maka ya bụ ife na-eme n'obodo anyị nọ n'ime ya. And nwere ndị Igbo na-azọ drop your own comment.
Congratulations to Oli, the acting chief of army staff. But the question is, why are we having acting chief of army staff when the military, a couple of weeks ago, came out to say that they have somebody already somebody that will, hold the fort for him. I think that was supposed to be the person in charge of, doctrines and thereabouts. I don't really know how that gamut was. And deliberately, the military, in fact, did come out to say that there was nobody that had been appointed in an acting capacity for General Taoreed Lagbaja. So the question is, why all of a sudden the president now appointing somebody in an acting capacity? And I think Nigerians would like to know this morning, what's the state of health of General Taoreed Lagbaja? The only side of the story we've heard all this while is that the president spoke to him, he said he's recuperated and all of that. Now they were putting somebody in an acting capacity, what is going on? Because if the military waited all this while and they said they were, somebody was already reporting as regards things, is it that the job couldn't wait again? And what is going to be the lot of this acting capacity? So for me, I'm even more curious about the state of health. And I think at this point in time, the military should also help us, probably with a live video or something. But, the question is, live videos in this country, you can speak all you want about them, but...
All right, so before I give you a little analysis of the video you're about to watch, I want to remind you something. That Biafra is a peaceful kingdom, and Biafrans are peaceful and lovely people. Yes, I said this because a lot of people has come to my DM, a lot of people have been, coming on the comment section to say that Biafra is this, Biafra is that, Biafra is that. And I know most of them saying this are saying it out of what they've heard, what people, our enemies, have told them. So that is why they carry that in mind. But I decided to use this medium to try or find a way to, change that narrative, to remind them or to tell them that Biafra is peaceful and Biafrans are lovely people. Believe in me, that is what it is. So having said this, I will say, may God bless Biafra. Now, back to the video that you're about to watch. I saw this video this morning where, Arise TV was, begging Nigerian government and Nigerian army to release the video of, the chief of army staff that has been flew abroad for some medical treatment. The chief of staff was flew abroad some weeks ago for medical treatment. But there's been news flying around that the man don't pay. And Nigerian government never talk, say he don't pay, Abi never pay. Nigerian army never talk, say he don't pay, Abi never pay. Nobody don't talk. But I want to remind you something, that there was a prophecy that was prophesied about that. Yes, that Simon Ekpa made a tweet saying that he will not come back alive. Simon Ekpa made that tweet. And then when I saw this news this morning, where a TV channel is begging the government to release the video of chief of army staff that is sick and is in some way in abroad, they are begging, like begging. Should we be begging them for this? If he is still alive, we shouldn't. This is something that they will do, because why they actually started saying all this is that the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has appointed a new acting chief of staff, Major General Femi. Yes, he has appointed a new acting chief of staff. Meanwhile, we don't know the condition of the other chief of staff. All right, so let them show us the video. So when I saw this news, I remember what Simon Ekpa tweeted, and I was asking myself, She Simon Ekpa don't become prophet. We go prophesy something. It go come. What do you think? It go come happen because as it don't reach now, we be say TV channel they beg Nigerian government and Nigerian army make they release the video. And we say something don't they waka now where they no one make we know. You know that kind of thing. So please, I will allow you to watch this video. I will allow you to watch this video where the TV channel, you know, said was begging the federal government to release the video. All right, but please, as you're watching it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Right, so please watch it.
They said he's recuperated and all of that. Now they were putting someone in an acting capacity. What is going on? Because if the military waited all this while and they said they were, you know, somebody was already reporting as regards things, is it that the job couldn't wait again? And what is going to be the lot of this acting capacity? So for me, I'm even more curious about the state of health. And I think at this point in time, the military should also help us, you know, probably with a live video or something. But, you know, the question is, live videos in this country, you can speak all you want about them, but it's not the real case sometimes. So I am more confused. It's supposed to be something that the military rank is supposed to be excited about in an acting capacity, but I'm more confused this morning. And I think Nigerians also deserve a right to be able to know the state of health of General Lagbaja this morning. So, I mean, and my phone had been ringing off the hook since yesterday. A lot of questions. And like you said rightly, there was a rumor going around that we debunked as fake news, that the military debunked as fake news. And we thought all of that has been laid to rest. But in all of this now, there's another new twist. When you're putting something in an acting capacity, we're really reeling out profile and all of that. So, is it that after reading our profile, when General Taoreed Lagbaja comes, this person will have to step aside? So, why are we in a haste? Or are we not sure what is really going on? So, this appointment has left me even more confused this morning. And I think in the coming days, the military should be able to give us, you know, some clarity as regards it. You know, probably General Taoreed Lagbaja will wish him the very best of health, but at some point, we should be able to get even a public address, you know. I know you say, yes, he's not an elected official and all of that, but this is a military chief at a time when Nigeria is, you know, going through a lot security-wise. So we really need to know, and it's that level of accountability we need to know, so that if they give us this information, we'll be able to tackle many other sides of the story, saying all sorts at this point in time. But I must confess to you, all the way from Riyadh, Saudi this morning, with that news, when I saw it break yesterday, I'm even more confused, to say the least.
So Rufai is saying he's more confused, and in terms of how important, or the importance attached to that role, Chief of Army Staff, is why I thought the President decided to appoint an acting Chief of Army Staff. The person you're referring to was the Chief of Policy and Plans, Army, whom the Army in a statement had said that usually he deputizes for the Chief of Army Staff when he's either on official leave or is unable to attend an event. And so we saw that happen, and then almost a week later, we now see a substantive acting Chief of Staff. It points to a number of things. Number one, it probably points to the fact that the Chief of Army Staff is possibly going to be out for a much longer time than the end of the month that was projected. That's one. Number two is that perhaps the reason for him being abroad in terms of undergoing treatment might be quite a serious issue. And on that note, I sympathize, empathize with him and his family, and I pray for speedy recovery, because no one wants to be, you know, in ill health. So on that human side of things, I pray that he is able to recover fully and he comes back on duty. In terms of the transparency, yes, Rufai, and you've noted this right from the very beginning, and this is what gives room to speculations, where someone can then go on their X account and begin to speculate that perhaps the Chief of Army Staff has even, you know, is no longer alive, which is quite sad, especially when there's no official statement from either the presidency, the army, or his family members. And that honor should be given to any man, irrespective of position. I believe that a man should have the right to his private to a certain extent, even as a public official. However, there are certain limits to that. So it leaves the challenge with this with secrecy is that it leaves a lot of room for for rumors, for unfounded statements, for people to begin to hatch plans that may not augur well for the country. Now, for the security of the nation, we've talked about how security is very critical at this time, and so that's why I do support this move for the appointment of a substantive acting chief of army staff. We know how things can go when it comes to hierarchy, who is giving the command, will they obey or follow, even though the assurance given to us earlier was that the army runs it runs in a disciplined manner and they know who is the next in line. But let's see how this works out. But our prayers are with Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, and we pray that he is, back on his feet and healthy and back to work.
Absolutely, Ayo. I would like to begin by wishing Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja a speedy recovery, and I hope that he is given the privacy that he deserves to go through the process he is going through and return back to duty. However, I'm glad you mentioned the word hierarchy, Ayo, because when we speak about military, hierarchy is paramount. Now, when the statement was made from Brigadier General Hassau, I believe it was, just about 10 days ago, concerning a potential vacuum in leadership in the army, it was said that army protocols dictate that the chief of policy and plans is the person who fills in any event that the chief of army staff is unavailable. Now, again, in the spirit of hierarchy, that is the next most senior person after the chief of army staff, and that is Major General Abdul Salami Bagudu Ibrahim. So the question is that if an acting chief of army staff is to be appointed, why is it not the most senior man in line, the next man in line? Because remember, in the military, hierarchy is paramount. That's how the military works. It works with order. However, the commander-in-chief has chosen Major General Oluyede, who, of course, is also a very well-decorated officer by all means. But the question is the Major General Abdul Salam Bagudu Ibrahim, who is most senior to him in rank, now supposed to take orders from somebody who is slightly more junior to him? That's a question, because that doesn't happen. It's more or less blasphemy in the army. So I'd love for that to be clarified. Another thing that was stated in the statement from the army last week, and I quote directly, that contrary to speculation by certain media outlets, let me read the whole statement. It said the Defense Headquarters wishes to clarify that it has not announced the appointment of any senior officer as the acting Chief of Army Staff, contrary to speculation by certain media outlets. For the record, no such appointment exists within the armed forces of Nigeria. End quote. That's a direct quote from the army. So why are we now creating army offices that don't exist? Because according to the army, I quoted them, there's no such thing as an acting chief of army staff. So those are some of the questions. But of course, we've already highlighted the security situation in the country. So maybe that's why the commander-in-chief has felt that this is an extraordinary moment in history, a peculiar moment that needs.
And by nnukwu ozi dị oke mkpa eji maka ya wee bịa n'iru akwụkwọ na Igbo media bụ ebe anyị si wee na-wetara unu ya bụ nnukwu ozi dị oke mkpa gbasata maka ihe na-eme n'obodo anyị nọ n'ime ya, ana gbasata maka nwere onwe ndị Igbo na-azọ, ana gbasata maka Maazị Nnamdi Kanu ladies. Dịka ị nụrụ ihe nwanne anyị nwoke kwuru n'iru akwụkwọ, ka efi were ikwu n'ụdị nke gị asị gị kwuo ka efi were ikwu maka na otu aka o jedebe njọ ọ ya adịkwanụ mma. Ọgwụ na ọtụ ụmụnne m, achọrọ m kwunu tinyere anyị alụ nkwu na ife unu chere n'iru akwụkwọ ikwucha ya bụ ife kapa arụsie ya kwurụta ụmụnne anyị ndị ọzọ ntị darụrụ nne na ụmụnne m bụ mụ na-ege ntị. Anyị na-ekene ndị nnekwu m si na-esoyere anyị esiri ngwa nke